Let's go painting again today. And this is the series in which every day I choose a different color from my collection of colors that it's growing and growing and growing, and I create something. So, for example, this was day one, and it was this ultramarine from Van Gogh. This amazing color, very deep. And then this one, for example, was this one from Schminke. Pines gray bluish. I really love this color. But yeah, so basically every day I have a different subject and I try to paint with a different color. So painting with only one color helps you a lot to understand like the values, so create a contrast, because otherwise when you play around with many colors, this could happen. You have a blob of colors, grayish colors with no contrast, no detail, no idea where to put your focus on, while when you only work with one color, it's just like this. Or at least that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing this. Basically, you are just here to see me improving every day by sketching with one single color a day to learn more about watercolor. So if you come here thinking that you will find somebody that knows everything about watercolor, that's not your channel. Go away. Bye. No, this is more about just learn stuff and show that you can improve every day, like just starting from scratch. And some days everything is just a mess and everything is just a bad blob of stuff with no idea. But then there are other days in which you are more focused and you learn more about what you have done the day before. And then there are other days in which you learn more about composition and stuff. So the other life that I have done, it was just me going through the last part of the process. So just drawing the page in here. But the reality is that behind the scene, I was actually doing a lot of studies. Like I was testing the color, I was testing the shapes, and I was testing different things. And I was like, why am I doing this not live? I mean, this is part of the process of learning, and this is actually the best part of the process in which you test new things. And today I was almost there to do the same mistakes because I was testing the color for today that I decided is this bright red. And I was like, wait, why am I doing this offline? Let's just go live and play around, and that's it. So yeah, today's color. Today's guest is Daniel Smith. Perylene. If I'm Italian, if I have to say this in Italian, it would be Rosso di Perylene. Still, we don't pronounce these as whatever it's pronounced in English is Perylene. So yeah, but yeah, Perylene Red, and this is part of a set of 3. And I really like this one, and I bought because everybody, like every friend that I have that was showing me their watercolor collection has at least one Daniel Smith extra fine watercolor, and I wanted to try myself. So I bought this set of 3, and I haven't tested those 2 yet. This one particularly, I think it will be tricky because it's a very nice yellow, is this one, but it doesn't have that much contrast. So yeah, it will be interesting to check how to make something out of this. But yeah, let's start easy and let's go with something that actually has a lot of contrast. And this is our guest. And this is a card that I made just for me to understand how the color behave. Now, this is nice, and this is a paper, I think it's agave paper actually, that has a little bit of texture, so you can see like the color changing nicely, and there is some texture here. Can you see all this nice thing here? But the sketchbook that I'm using is super smooth. Like with these lights, it has a little bit of texture, but trust me, basically there is no texture here. And these are the more challenging parts of this, because then the water that I have in my brush needs to be well calibrated, otherwise it will be just a smooth line with nothing in it. So the difference is like, can you see this? This has a nice texture, okay? And this is what I will have in this kind of paper, like a blob. But I started with this sketching book from Sakura. And I was like, you know what? I will keep going for a while. And if at some point I decide it's too much of a challenge, just change sketchbook. So yeah, this is the plan for today. Let's play around with this single color and let's learn more about like different contrast, different owl and everything. And yeah, so this is just the first part. My plan is to create some trees on a cliff on a Chinese style. So the Chinese style, they have those cliffs that are like this, okay? And they have these nice trees. And I want to create something like this. But yeah, I need to understand how to do this. And I saw this in a book in a library, but I couldn't rent the book. So I don't have any reference today. And this will be part of the challenge. So it will be just me trying to remember how was it and play around. So welcome to the madness of today of me learning watercolor painting and with nice, beautiful watercolor. So, first of all, let's try to understand how to control this color in this kind of paper. And what I will do is I decided today I want to use this brush. This is a super nice brush. It's Borciani Bonazzi 800 Sintetico. Borciani Bonazzi is an Italian brand, and one thing that I love about this brand is that the handle of the brush, it's super smooth, but at the same time it has this flat area here, so when you drop it in here, it's not going to roll away. And I really love this brand. I want to buy like tons of brushes from this brand because the feeling on your hand, it's so nice, it's so balanced. So yeah, definitely gonna try again. Wanna buy more of those. Like, let me show you. And also the design, guys. Italians know better. Let me show you another one that I have. This one, Unico Series Infinito. Look how beautiful this brush is. I mean, to be honest, I bought this one because I was looking for a brush like this, like a mop brush. But at the same time, there was like cheapest version of this one where it's like, okay, this is beautiful. But yeah, don't think that I just own this kind of brushes. No. I have one of the favorite brushes that I own that is from Tiger. Super cheap, but it works so well. So yeah, this is also a possibility. So don't worry, like a learning process is something that, at least for me, needs to be nice and sometimes it's funny and you learn by doing a lot of mistakes. So let's keep going and let's make even more mistakes. So first thing that I'm gonna do is to add some nice color to my teeny tiny palette here. And let's see how this watercolor behave on this paper. That again, it's not a watercolor paper and that's on me. So see how smooth this is? But if I take off some water, and I have just a sponge in here to dry a little bit this. Still too much water. Let's try to get rid of more water. And made it very flat. Now see, there is a little bit texture coming in. So maybe if I keep going, yeah. Now this effect you will attain in a watercolor paper in just one stroke, even if your brush is very full of water. Like, look, see, this is super nice. But again, today we are for a challenge, so let's go with this one. Now, I want to make trying to work with different values. So the contrast is really important because otherwise there is no focus on my image, right? On whatever I want to paint. So the first layer will be those cliff from this Chinese style paint, will be so light, like the pigment needs to be very, very diluted in water. Because then if I have that as a background, I can build on top of that. So let's do this. And let's dry my brush and then use this. Try to drop a little bit. I think I need way more water than this now. Nice. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going today, to be honest, but let's see. So my plan is to have a cliff in here, 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 and then some tree coming here. Now this is super light. Maybe I can add a little bit more pigment, or maybe not. But see, there is a little bit of texture, and that is something that I like. And then this one here. Okay, no, it's very light. I'm going to add to build on top of this. And then I want something also here, because I want like one tree to be here and one tree to be on the back. The idea is like to have kind of a misty environment, like a misty, not environment, what's in English? It's panorama in Italian, like a misty view maybe? Well, if you know what I mean, just drop a comment and says, maybe you were thinking about this word. I will love you so much, and I will really, really learn new words, and my life will be better. Now, this is very light. Now, I want to add darkness here, okay? Like these, like these, like these, like these. And again, I'm just studying, okay? I'm not going to create a masterpiece. That's not what we are doing here. We're just together learning how to play with watercolor, and no expert, nothing. It's just, let's learn by doing a lot of mistakes. Now, I want my hand to be very shaky, because nature is not made with straight lines at all. So why we should do that? Nice. Now in the back, I want it to be a little bit brighter. Not too much. Nice. Now let's add some small lines, and I'm going to use this is number 2 from a local brand. Let's see how it behaves. Okay, I really don't like this one, but I have a nice one. And this is actually a funny story. So this is a very cheap brush, Fila Giotto Serie 600 Taclon. The thing is that since it's cheap, the brush itself, it's kind of ruined. But it could be a bad thing, usually. But in reality, it's not that bad of a thing, because I can have like a sort of texture built by this brush. Let's see if I can do it with this paper. See? It's not a straight line, it has this nice teeny tiny line. I like that. We can play with that. Now, another issue with this kind of paper that is not meant to be for watercolor is that it dries super fast, okay? And this is something you don't want with watercolor, because with watercolor you want to be able to mix the color for a long time. And if the paper dries too fast, you can't do that, right? So it's actually a bad issue to have this kind of paper. But I know you will be smarter than me and just buy a sketchbook with watercolor. Or maybe you like challenges and you want to improve your muscle memory on watercolor, and you're going to do the same thing I'm doing. And then maybe struggle and blame on whatever is in there. Okay, let's see if we can blend a little bit these together. Kind of. There is too much contrast. And what I don't like now is that everything is kind of messy. And there is no focal point. Like there is nothing that says, hey, look here. This is important, look here, okay? But it's fine. Again, we are studying. And we are learning. So now let's make everything a little bit blob. Now, what I want now is that in the background, I want to start to build a tree, because I want to test how a tree could be. So let's get back to the teeny tiny brush. And let's add here a tree. I think one tree could be here and one tree could be here. But here I need to make it dry first. So, and the tree, it's a very nice tree that has the side to move, to grow on the edge. You know, this tree has a lot of courage, you know. So it's going to move here, and then there will be branches. Now, the branches need to have some space between one branch and the other, because then here I'm going to build some leaves. So, is this okay? Yeah, kind of. And I want the branch to be here, moving around this, and then moving around this, and then another branch here, a branch here, another one here, and one is going up, and another one here. It's like what I did with not this mess, this one, see? So there is leaves in here, and then there is like this is going up, and then it stop, and then here go up, and then stop. Same thing I want to build here. Now let's make the leaves, that I'm pretty sure there is a better word to leaves. How do you call the whole thing? Not just the single leaves. Is this okay? Yeah. Let's build it like this. And here. And maybe here. Okay, definitely too much stuff, but it's a beginning. And this is the first sketch of the day. Like later, when I will finish to study all these things, I will just make a video, an actual video with the final result. So for now, it's just a process on getting there. Now the contrast is completely gone. So I'm going to build it again. And then there is this nice branch here. And then this one here. Like I saw this kind of places in many paint from Chinese artists, and I wonder, like, is this a real thing? Because it looks so dreamy to me. And maybe I'm just ignorant on geography in China. But I really liked it. So I'm wondering, like, is this a kind of place that you can actually see in if you go in China? Because is that the case? I want to see it. Okay, so create some contrast in here as well. Like a little bit of shade under the tree. Okay, this is a start. Let's do another tree here. And let's learn from this one. So what I don't like about this one is that I was so focused on making branches that I haven't realized I made too many. So I want to recreate something like this in which there is just a few branch and then the... What is this in English? In Italian it's chioma. Will spread horizontally. Because in this one, another thing that I don't like is like there is too much in here. It should be flatter. And then another thing is that this is too big. So let's learn from this and let's make another one in here. Hopefully a better one. And if you are in the same like mindset of learning new things, just let me know, like, how is it going, your studying, and how do you like to learn new things? Like, do you watch tutorial, or you actually go to some workshop, or you just decide at some point, hey, I want to learn this skill, let's do it. What was your process and how is it going? Now let's be a little bit more focused. I want a teeny tiny tree here. This one I want it to spread a little bit more so you can recreate this. And then I can put one here, and then here I want another one. So let's go up. And this is going to spread here as well. And here. Now this is definitely a better shape. Let's add the... I really need to check that word in English. Chioma. I wonder what it is in English. Okay. Let's make it a little bit messy and with some white space in the middle. Because this is another thing that here is too messy. There is not enough white space around. And if you look at the tree, it's never a uniform blob of leaves. It's more about like things going around. Right? And in here, and then it will spread in here. Way cuter. Now, let's add a little bit of dimension in the leaf itself. I might just call it chioma, what it is in Italian. And then after this slide, I'm gonna check that out. And maybe here, and maybe here. I think this is too red. And maybe a little bit of branch here and there. Now, this is way better, but since in the background there is this cliff, now this is not that visible, and that's an issue because, again, I lost the focus again, so not okay. We can try to make this darker so it will pop a little bit more, but I think it's just gone. And with this paper, I cannot lift the color. What I mean by lift the color is that when you have proper watercolor paper, let me show you, you can use a very dark, very saturated blob of stuff. Too saturated. So like this, but then if you wash your brush, you can go and lift it up. See, it's gone. And this is beautiful because you can do so many things with this technique. Like you can create some shades. Here I create that, for example. And I really like this. But the issue with this kind of paper, again, is this is too thin. This is too smooth. If I try to do the same, it's not going to work. It's just going to ruin the paper. Okay. Basically, the paper stain immediately when you drop it in there. So I can't do that. So again, challenge. I need to think in advance on where I want to place my stuff. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Right? So I'm going now to do this thing again, but learn by my mistakes. And so what do we learn? This is exhausting. My God, talking and also showing you stuff. It's wow. Okay. So, what do we learn? First of all, let's start from the background again. But in the background, this tree needs to be not that colorful, or it could be that. But here, I need space. I need nothing to be here, so that this tree is gonna pop more. For example, if I make a tree in here, let's make a small tree here. So I do the same thing and I go with a tree. I add some brush here and there, another here, another here. Okay, and then maybe some leaves. Just a quick one. Okay, since there is nothing in here, it's going to pop up more. Like you're gonna see it way more than the rest. Like this. It's going to be more visible because there is nothing in the background. So let's try to do the same. Let's go to the next page. But I need to charge my phone, so give me a second. Okay, back again. Back again. I found out yesterday that Eminem just released a new song months ago, and I wasn't aware about that at all. But now with all things going on in Hollywood, everybody's talking about those things. And even here in Europe, we are talking about the same things. So one cliff, another cliff here. And then let's make another one in the back. But this time, since I want to have the three here, I'm gonna leave the empty space behind and just go maybe here. And here. Such a big mess. let's recreate this, and then here, a little bit contrast again. Maybe there is a rock in here, another rock in there. So our tree can be there, and then another rock in here. And then I place it here. But yeah, the struggle is real. Like, try it yourself. Find yourself some paper that is not meant to be for watercolor. Pretty sure, like, if you're a pro artist, you can't do everything everywhere, no matter what. But if you're not, then you might be struggling, as I am. Okay, we built some confidence from the previous tree. So let's try to create another one. A better one with a glorious future. So this teeny tiny tree was growing here, and then there was like, oh no, there is a cliff. Damn it. Oh, I didn't notice there was a cliff while I was growing. This is exactly what the tree says. And then it forgets that it has branches, and one branch spread in here, another one went there, another one went here, and this is here. And then there is another one that was growing here. Right? This is what happened to trees in China. Like, if you don't know, now you know. Like, if you want to be a good tree in China, you have to spread on a cliff, and you have to be very proud of yourself. A lot of self-esteem about the trees. This is how trees goes in China. Completely sure about what I'm saying. Facts, okay? Facts. Now let's add the chioma. That at this point I really don't know how to call it, so I will just go with the Italian form of it, that is chioma. And again, if you know better, just let me know in the comment. And I want that to have this kind of pyramid shape. So like a triangle. Nice. Nice and clean. See? But there is too much flowing around there, so I just want to have another branch or two. Too saturated? No. Very good. So maybe one here. Why am I whispering? I don't know. Okay, nice. And then they do this thing that they grow and then they go there, you know? And then maybe this here, spreading. I really need to learn the name of this tree, because I find it so fascinating, but I have no idea how it's called. See, improvement from this to this. Nice blob. I mean, I think it's physically impossible that a tree will grow like this, honestly, because I'm pretty sure it's going to fall down and that's it. But yeah, I mean, have you ever saw a tree growing like this? I don't know, some trees are very cool. Like seriously cool. They can grow everywhere. They're like, I don't give a shit, I will just go. If you love me, you're gonna follow me. And if you don't follow me, I'm gonna just fall because of a hurricane or something. I overworked these too much. Definitely overworked these too much. My idea was just to add a couple of lines and then I have 100 of them. Maybe this is a jungle, you know? We don't know for sure. Science doesn't have all the answers sometimes. So, but since I have already overworked that, I will just keep going. Because why learn from your mistake? The thing is that the line is only straight lines. I think I should have had left some space between that to give the idea that there is like rocks and cliffs and stuff like that. See? So yeah, another tree, right? Let's go. So, a recap. What we like about this one, it's a better shape. Now the trunk, it's too small maybe for the kind of tree that is. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is impossible in reality, right? So for the next tree, I want to have this part of the tree that is spreading more farther away, right? And then, I haven't added any shade on the leaves, on the chioma, but I think it's fine. Then here, there is too much going on. I need to leave more clear space. And what else do we learn from here? I think that's it. I like this shape. I like this kind of triangular shape in here. So let's keep the triangular shape. Let's make these far away. Let's make this less of a blob, and this I like. So let's do the same thing here. And then I think for today it's enough, and we can call it a day. By the way, why do you English speakers say call it a day? How do you gonna call it? Like, why? What does it? I know what does it mean, but at the same time I'm like, why? So let's make it spread a little bit more. Let's make it thicker. Now we spread a lot. Let's move with the branches. So first branch is going there, and maybe here, and then maybe it's spreading also here. Stop. Then a second branch here. It's going here. Oh wait, we haven't added these parts in here, so let's add that. Now the second one goes there and it goes up because you know that the sun is here, is not here, and he realizes too late. And then that's the tree realized that it was a mistake to grow this in here and there, so he was like, okay, let's make another one here. Tree science, you know, that's how they think. We can have a nice chioma in here. Pretty nice chioma. Nice. Now, for this, let's make it less noisy. Not noisy, let's bold. I want this to go down. And this to go down, but let a little bit space. Nice. Same thing here. Down, but let a little bit space. And then here there is a rock and some stones. And it goes down. Like I was thinking that speaking out loud would have made my life miserable, but actually it helped me a lot because it helped me understand what I am doing wrong, and in general what I am doing. I feel like I'm more focused. Way better. Come on. Look. Nice. Maybe we can add something here as well. Nice. Okay. Let's go with the Kyoma. Let's add the Kyoma. We love it, the Kyoma. Let's dry the brush because we don't want our Kyoma to be too Kyomish. Okay. Now we need to go here and here. Flat. Let's try to go flat and then add the dimension on top of that. Maybe it worked. This is a big tree. Teeny tiny tree. Big tree. Not that bad actually. Let's make a triangular shape. Another kind of triangular shape. And then a teeny tiny triangular shape in here. And I like triangular shape because it's basically the same word in Italian, triangolo. Now, we have a lot of things going on, so let's add some branches here and there. This is actually pretty good, like bigger trees. I like that. And this one was floating, so maybe we can just make it not floating anymore. Nice. Okay, I think this is good enough. Maybe I can just add more contrast on the cliff because I just realized from the camera that it's not very clear that this is the cliff. Just few strokes like this. Done. Now, let's talk about results. So, if you think about how we start, messy, right? Super messy. But things that I learned today, it's very handy to test how is your brush going, like how much water there is, how saturated it is. Pretty nice. Then another thing was that the cliff that was in the back, like you need to think in advance how to place your composition, otherwise something will disappear. Overworking is not good, overworking is not good. More space between those two cliffs. I hope it's cliffs. Then the shades on the Kyoma, I really didn't like that, so I completely get rid of that. And now, this is what we have now. So, attempt number 3, the tree was super teeny tiny small because I wasn't confident enough to make a big one. And then my cliff was overworked because now here there is just a giant blood that will just catch the eye of the person that is looking. So I think it's very important when I create something that, like, the focus is clear. In here, the focus is not clear. The focus is like this blob. And you're like, why? But in here, it's way more clear that there is this thing here. I think still there is a space for improvement because still there is something that is not completely on focus, if you ask me, on this one. But I think, like, we have been here for 45 minutes. I can definitely call myself satisfied by this. and I still have to record the one page, so I think it's fine. And yeah, so see, even with just 45 minutes of practice, you can improve a lot, or at least I can improve a lot. And I started this series live because I didn't want to feel ashamed of the fact that I don't know how to control colors yet. But practice, 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 and you're gonna improve, like no matter what. That's how you learn. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. And again, every time that you see me online, come here, drop a comment if you want, and have fun. Ciao, ciao.